Oh, can you hear me? Hello? If you can see me, say hello. Or hear me, say hello. Hmm. Can you hear me? Apologies, I had a bit of a technical problem, and yeah, so I've just managed to go live now. Okay, okay. What's up? So I'm using camera on my laptop tonight to go live. So thank you for joining. If you've joined us, say hello. Ade Tutu, person A, J Boy. Thank you for joining. Uh, let's wait for a few more people. I hope you guys have had a great week. You had a great week, or should I say great weekend? I mean, great weekend. You're getting ready for a new week. Um, hello, Maria. Right. As you know, my as you know, my main as you know, my main as you know. Right. Hold on 1 second. I'm having technical problems here. Right. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? My apologies. I'm having issues with my connection here because I'm doing this live on my laptop. I've always done it on my mobile phone. So is it better? Can you hear me? Or is it breaking up? Great, great. Okay, okay. Hi, Dima. Hello. Anyways, yeah. What's next for Nigeria? First of all, what do you guys think about the election? Before I say, what I've got to say, what do you think about the election so far with the APC, the PDP, the rigging? That's my main focus for tonight. What do you think? Especially for those of you who are based in Nigeria that witnessed the election frauds. I can't believe that Buhari would raise his hands to say this was a successful election when we all could blatantly see what happened. So, what do you think? What do you guys think? Hi, Dima. Thank you for joining. What do you think about the election? Are you happy? Are you unhappy? What do you think? Let's have a conversation. I'm looking at the comments. Yeah, person A, it was rigged. Absolutely disappointed. Same here. Of course, it was rigged. It was rigged. I personally paid, close. Hi, Solutions. Thank you for joining us. I paid close attention to all the video snippets that came up on Instagram, Facebook, and all that stuff, and it was shocking. There were several places up north where kids as young as I think 8-year-olds and 12-year-olds and stuff were given piles of ballot papers. Even some adults. Some people were caught. Some people were given terrible beatings and stuff. But I saw videos of people fingerprinting and just repeatedly flipping pages and fingerprinting for APC. I also saw videos of people fingerprinting for PDP and stuff. So I think the fraud was of course orchestrated when they abruptly postponed that election. That displaced a lot of people. I think a lot of people that could have voted for Showore or whatnot, but it was heavily rigged. So I want to hear from you people. And before I say, share my own views and then we crack on, I'm not going to take your time tonight. It's devastating. It's just it's a massive, massive shame because if this to me proves that Buhari and his allies have they have no good intention for that nation. And Atiku, has the audacity, given Atiku's track record, Atiku has the audacity to claim that the election was rigged. He's not going to accept, the outcome and stuff like that. Maria said, "I'm still shocked. Even the vice president went to testify that it's only God that made him to have re-elected." Yeah, they're jokers, man. This is why I say Africa, Nigeria, and the rest of Africa, and religion. Religion is a form of cultism. They have the audacity. This is what I'm saying. It's a big slap on the faces of how do you say, Nigerians, for you to go and say you're testifying, you're giving thanks to God for helping that be, when we blatantly can see that's a fraudulent election. So the said government is promoting class wars. I personally see no reason why he could even see it as a victory moment for him and his party. He does not even respect his position as the president and disrespects everything. Yeah, you see, yeah, Dima, the audacity, like you said, the audacity is they are blatantly sticking it in our faces. They're just not using the exact words you're hoping to hear, but they are basically telling us that, we've rigged this election and there's nothing you can do about it. So it's pretty much another 4 years of hell. These are the same people. I personally watched several videos of Osinbajo online where he was literally castigating the previous government and all the corrupt officers across the country, how they've looted money, how they've deprived the government from making progress and whatnot. But you then are part of a team of people that are blatantly, because rigging of election means depriving the citizens of their right, to pursuant to democracy, their right to be able to fingerprint and say, I'm giving my vote to that candidate. I'm giving my vote to that candidate. So when you appoint people in the background to hijack ballots, to disrupt the process, then what you're effectively saying is the voice of the people don't count. You're going to force your criminality down their lungs and force your way on them and stuff like that. That's what it means. So he said the results process was exhausting and unbelievable. Of course, INEC is in on the fraud. As soon as I said it before, as soon as that thing got postponed, as soon as the whole election thing got postponed in the last minute, we all knew that fraud was going to happen. Because a lot of people that had bear in mind that earnings in Nigeria, people struggle and stuff. So a lot of people that have traveled across several states, across several parties, people left their businesses, people postponed their functions. So of course, what do you expect? And then you then have to return. People traveled hours, so it was impossible for some people to carry on. So they basically disrupted the whole nation so they could rig, because APC knew that they were going to lose the election. The only way forward was just to rig the bloody election. It's terrible. It's terrible, man. It's absolutely terrible. I've actually got this article here that was saying Atiku Abubakar denounces Saturday's election as sham and vows to challenge the result. Really? What do you guys think? What do you think? Atiku is claiming that it's fraud. I've not really heard much from Sowore. It's sad. It's devastating that he didn't make it, but he did. It's like Sowore just gone really quiet. I saw a video online of him traveling out of the country and going abroad. I know this sounds ignorant, but does Nigeria have a constitution? If there is, and there is a clause in the constitution, then they could be kicked out. That's if there is anything about fraud. Listen, Nigeria has a constitution. We have laws. We have rules and regulations governing the country. But the corrupt officers, the cabals, the criminals running that country will never align with the rule of law. You see, the common man, the regular Joe Bloggs, the everyday Nigerian, like you and I, if you do something, they grab you by the neck, they jail you and stuff. But it's a different rule for the regular people. It's a different rule for the elites. The judicial system, the court system is corrupt. As you know, it's corrupt. So the rules are there, they just don't follow it. They've got dirty monies flowing around. The police is corrupt, the military is corrupt, it's corrupt all the way to the top. So what do? Thank you. The government controls how the laws are used. Absolutely, I agree. The control. Buhari cannot stand here tonight to say he's not aware. Come on, man. He has officers on ground. So you see, for me personally, if you ask me, this election proves the whole we are fighting against corruption thing. It's a facade, it's a smokescreen to fool Nigerians. He's definitely not fighting against corruption. They were afraid that they were going to get absolutely displaced. You know, a lot of people were castigating Shaware. Oh, you need to go and start from the bottom. You know, it's not about starting from the bottom. We need people to challenge these people. They're not ready. And I'm going to say something. Just hold on. They prefer to impose a law on others, but they will never follow it. That's unfortunately, of course. But the EFCC was prevented from investigating the transportation of money during the elections. Solutions. See, I disagree. You see, there is more than meets the eye. You see, the whole thing, hi Victory, thanks for joining us. Hello. The whole thing that the EFCC was prevented. No. The EFCC is actually controlling Nigeria. I'm loaded. And maybe for whatever reason, I'm publicly challenging the government, or I'm challenging certain people within the echelons of power, right? They can get the EFCC to find some baseless charges. They can just show up on my doorstep tomorrow and say, oh, we freeze your account. We believe you're involved in money laundering, and they will drag you through hell. Believe me, the EFCC should be an independent body that should be able to target anybody within the country and say, we believe you're involved in fraud. We believe you're involved in this form of criminality, but they are controlled by the government. The EFCC themselves, when you see all those display, like you see videos on social media, you see the EFCC running from pillar to post. Oh, we freeze this building. It's a smokescreen. Why is the EFCC not looking into? The EFCC actually have got the ability to hold people responsible for the criminality during the course of this election. They do, but they won't. Do you think Buhari administration is the solution to our problems? No. Answer is no. Do I think Buhari's administration? Come on, man. You've seen the election. How can you rig election? How can you rob? Okay, think about it. If you appoint me as a president or as a state governor, basically that means I've brought my argument to you. I've said to you, hey, listen, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. So please vote for me. So why should I, if you believe in my mandate, if you believe in my argument, then you give me your vote and say, okay, and if I win the election, fair and square, I get in the office and I do exactly what I've promised you. So if I have to then bend the process, if I have to then abuse the process, I have to take unfair advantage, I have to manipulate the process. So how is it possible for me then to have your interest? Of course not. These people don't have the interest of the common Nigerians, the average Nigerian. They are interested in their pockets. Atiku, if you look at Atiku's track record, he has jumped from one party to another. He's just basically looking to tap into that office and hold on to. It's all about power, money, control for them, not for the interest of you to have good roads, water system, good healthcare system, good educational system, jobs for the nation. No, man. Buhari spent 4 years, claiming to be investigating fraud, claiming to be pulling back stolen funds. This guy is involved in the rigging of election. So how do you? I wish Shaware was elected. Let them give a well-enlightened, educated person. They won't give you. And you know what? The good works they started recently will stop them. No more trader money. The problem is, you see, here is my own observation. The problem with this is, you see, Nigerians, a bulk of Nigerians are not ready for the change that they are shouting and screaming about. Nigerians are not ready. Nigerians are not ready. They're not ready. People are talking about there are no jobs, people are suffering, people are doing this, people are doing that. But Nigerians are not ready. If you allow yourself to be used as a tool to rig the election, to rob your fellow Nigerians of their right to be able to select the right leaders, then you are basically the problem. We are the ones empowering these criminals. Do you get what I'm saying? Look at, because they've used poverty for so long. That's why they can give you 500 naira, they can give you the odd 1,000 naira and a bag of rice and stuff, and people will queue up in thousands. I saw some videos online where some people were actually apprehended and beaten up by angry Nigerians, and they were flogged. There was a guy, his mouth was busted open, blood gushing. They caught him with papers. People were frustrated. But for the most part, across the nation, there's a lot of rigging. People put themselves forward for chicken fee. Basically, you are robbing yourselves in exchange of having a good healthcare system, in exchange for good roads, in exchange for job creation, in exchange for good healthcare system, for having good pension plan, for having good justice system. You collect peanuts and you help these bastards rig the election. So then people are going to carry on talking about, oh, Nigeria is this, Nigeria. But you are the ones, you are the enablers. You are the ones running the criminality. This is the most frustrating. We already know these leaders are criminals. But without the people on ground, they can't rig elections. They displaced that election by running that postponement fraud. They displaced that election because they know millions were ready. If that election wasn't postponed and people rushed to vote, it's game over for APC. Believe me, I knew it. But the moment they pulled the carpets from under everyone's legs, I just knew it was game over, man. A lot of people do not know who Showore is or what they stand for. Gavin, I disagree. I think, well, I'm not sure about, but the guy tried though. If you've been following Showore's movement, yes, he started by using social media. Social media has come to form a major part of our respective lives. On the palm of your hands, you can read news, what's happening in Russia. You can see what's happening in the States. You can sit in your house and see what's happening in Nigeria. If you're overseas, if you're in Nigeria, you can see what's happening in the UK. So social media played a major part for Showore. He's constantly putting out videos talking about his mandate, and he did a lot of work on ground. But I would tell you, the prevalent or the predominant problem is corruption and mindset. When you have people who are neck deep in poverty mentality, you see, Showore, everyone shouting Showore. A lot of those people, you pull them to the side, you put peanuts in their hand, they will turn their backs. Don't forget, Showore's approach is unusual in Nigeria. It's unusual. He doesn't. I've seen several videos at the airports. Soldiers have been hostile towards this guy. You know why? They want money. He's not giving out money to them. He's not sharing money. Showore is not. He's not lining up on the roadside and giving people bail of money. It's not the normal practice in Nigeria. People are severely corrupt. So that mentality alone. Then you see the corrupt people using people to rig election. Of course, they will go for the corrupt people. It's about poverty. This is what they've been using. This is why there are no job creations. You actually think these people are making mistakes? No, it's a deliberate act. They use poverty. Look, I was watching some videos about northern Nigeria, even southern. There are a lot of uneducated people. There are millions of uneducated Nigerians. The only language they understand is what you put in their palms. They're not capable of sustaining logical reasoning. They're not educated. They cannot operate on the wavelength of you and I. I don't mean that in a bad way. They are hungry. I saw the video of a woman who has 11 children living in a makeshift house in northern Nigeria. They don't understand nothing. The children are all butt naked. Somebody said, "Oh, if they ask you to fingerprint for Buhari, will you finger?" She said, "Say Baba, say Baba." She was laughing. Her teeth look terrible. They are hungry. What do you say to people like that? There are millions of them. You know what they did? They lined them up. They just gave them a bunch of papers asking them to fingerprint. This is why they use poverty, lack of education, lack of resources, lack of exposure. This is what is caving the country in. They can get millions of those uneducated people. Believe me, Nigeria has millions of them, millions of illiterates. Get them to abuse the election process. Of course. Let me look at your comments. If you can't beat them, join them. I disagree, talking about Adeyinka. What do you mean if you can't beat them, join them? You're basically saying we should join the fraudsters that are crippling Nigeria. I disagree with that statement. Showore needs to go to grassroots. I disagree. Kazim, what's up, bro? Thank you for joining. Mindset is definitely, believe me, mindset. The core of the frauds of this election is poverty. They use poverty to cripple the nation. They use poverty. Point blank, simple. Poverty. So how could we fix this? As a first generation kid in the UK, I feel like we need to go home and clean them out. I don't believe that Nigerians in Nigeria can do it. If you and I travel home, what resources do we have to clear out this? I've always said it. I said it in the last video that we need a major clear out of these people in the corridors of power, in the echelons of power, right? But how do you execute it? How do you clear them out? It's almost impossible. The military is corrupt. The police is corrupt. The police are actually badly paid. They walk around like thugs. They abuse the citizens every day. They kill people unlawfully. They detain unlawfully. They extort people. They oppress people on a daily basis. The judicial system is corrupt from the bottom to the top. So the question is, how? How do we do it? This is why I said in the title of my video, one of the prevalent problems of Nigerians is mental slavery. The illiteracy is rife in Nigeria. It's unbelievable. Maybe for those of us that live in Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, and all those cities where civilization is at a even its civilization is limited in Lagos. If you get into certain parts of Lagos, you will be shocked. Before we break the system, we need to know what system to put in place. Well, I agree. But this conversation, don't forget, this conversation is happening in the midst of we everyday Nigerians that are worried, that are concerned. The people that are latching onto the power, they are the ones constantly crippling that nation. So what do? We are frustrated. If I was on ground and I had a PVC, I would definitely vote. But when you have people, the INEC is also an institution that should be on ground and man every polling station. Make sure not one single rigging. But INEC themselves, they are neck deep in corruption. See, all of these people are in the same bed. They belong to the same gang. So it makes it impossible. Except you want to carry a gun and go and physically, I don't encourage violence, but what do? The West is involved. They're aware of the corruption in Nigeria. All these nations, they are aware. They need certain persons to be there so they can benefit from the system. Look at China. I said it in my last video. China is constantly, they are aggressively pushing and investing in Africa. They are pushing, they are buying our lands, they are buying businesses, they are buying resources. It's not a form of sophisticated slavery. What do? You cannot change a system that's massively flawed using the same system. I agree, Kazim. The elites put up the oppressive structure to control the people, to program them to agree with whatever they decide. Yeah, Gavin Johnson, the West collude. Of course, there are many Nigerians in the UK, the US who have degrees in criminology, law, city planning. Nigeria has a massive brain drain. If all can go back, including the owners. I agree. But you see, the problem is you can have an extensive background in criminology, which is beautiful. You will be able to contribute positively into the processes of Nigeria. But guess what? Okay, I'm a criminology expert. I moved from the UK, I'm moving to Nigeria. I'm hoping to get into the system to be a major driving force and to be able to contribute positively to the processes. Bro, if I am a criminology expert, if I'm in a network of corrupt officials, believe me, I'm not going to get anywhere. How? They will frustrate you, or most likely, they will implicate you. Look at this woman, Kemi Adeosun, the Kemi Adeosun, right? She educated in the UK, the finance minister. They had to, you know why? She was doing a great job. There are certain persons in the background that are mounting pressure that want to fleece the system. She wasn't playing ball. They had to go look for the flimsiest of excuse about NYSC certificate. They used that as a smear campaign for character assassination to kick her out. They will frustrate you. Believe me. Yeah. See, revolution. I agree, Kazim. You have to use a different tool, which is revolution. Revolution might mean people get violent. Revolution might mean protests and people actually attacking the state, dragging the state to court and stuff. Lives will be lost. Oh, they will kill us. They will obliterate people because there is a saying: the oppressor will not hand you your freedom. The oppressed is got to demand that freedom, and you have to demand it violently. Believe me, these are the people that are draining the resources of Nigeria. These are the people. Believe me, bro. Kemi Adeosun, yeah, Kemi Adeosun she did an amazing job, and congratulations, Kamaru, first African UFC. People are already dying. I agree, Betty. People are already dying. People are already dying. We need a massive revolution, man. How do you? Because, okay, what breaks my heart is this is another 4 years of suffering for the citizens. I said in my previous video, it's the average Joe blogs that actually suffer. The everyday Nigerian are the ones, no jobs. See, I'm sure the people that live in Nigeria can relate. Some of us in diaspora, some people haven't gone home in years. Look, the poverty level is mind-blowing. Multi-millions. How can you say the average salary is about 19,000? 20,000 is about 42 pounds. How can you spend that monthly? What can you pay for? What can you buy? People are living in abject poverty. They're using that to suppress people, to control. It's a control mechanism whilst they run their frauds, whilst they rob us blind. We need to clear out. I just don't know. I don't believe there is poverty in Nigeria. Everybody looks fat. Bro, I'm sure you're joking. I'm sure that's a joke. Because somebody looks fat doesn't mean they're not living in poverty. People are neck deep in poverty, man. It would be better if inflation was reduced. Of course, Kazim. It would be better if inflation was reduced. But the inflation is caused by the government. We're a nation that consume heavily. We consume. What do we produce? You know, everybody have got to, like, being poor and eating junk food can make you fat. Of course, chips. I agree. There's so many fat people abroad, man, are broke. People are suffering. I am devastated, man. Like I said, the core problem of the nation is mental slavery. How do people need education. People need, it's crazy, the backwardness. And I think poverty is the main reason why some people just don't give a shit. They just don't care. They will do anything for that little tiny peanuts amount of money. Because when somebody's hungry and you say, hey man, fingerprint these 5,000 ballot papers and I'll give you 50K. Somebody who hasn't been paid for like 6-7 months, somebody who is jobless, come and fingerprint 5,000 ballot papers, I'll give you 50,000 cash. Believe me, there are millions of people that would take it. It's a bad offer, apart from the fact that it's criminality. They would take it, man. They're hungry. My auntie say they even steal solar street lights because of poverty and sell metal to eat. Yep, like the sidebars on our bridges and on the roadside, they cut the metals, they melt them down, they go sell it to make spoons, plates, cups. It's poverty. Vandalism is very common in Nigeria. They steal cable lines. People will do anything to survive. Did you see that video of a guy with massive money on the table? I didn't see that, cousin. And our population is increasing. Every year, check this out, right? Every year, we churn out thousands and thousands and thousands of graduates. Every year, Nigeria produces thousands of graduates. Those graduates are jobless. Those graduates are broke. You hear somebody, how can somebody be a 40-year-old and tell you he has never had a job? A 39-year-old has a first degree, has masters, has never held a job of their choice. I met someone, studied electrical engineering, has never been employed. And don't get me wrong, let's not conflict this. People would say, oh, if you don't have a job, go and set up a business. I get that. You know, you can find something to do and start selling and start running a business to feed yourself and family. But can I tell you something? Not everybody is wired for business. Not everybody. Not everybody. Look at the life abroad. We have bus drivers. We have coach drivers. We have train drivers. We have police officers. Even here in the UK, we have the actual police officers. We have community support officers that they're like that support the police, right, for non-emergencies and stuff. The job creation in the West is amazing. If you go to the coach station, there are people that work at the information desks. There are people that make sure the coaches are loaded. There are people that work at night that fix the train lines. There are people that service the coaches. There are people that fix the roads once you find potholes. There are people whose jobs is to cut the trees, to treat the trees and keep the trees and cut the grasses. The job creation is what keeps the system going, and everybody pay taxes into the system. If you go to hospitals, there are people that prepare, they call them porters, operation theaters that get them ready for the next operation. There are people that sterilize the tools. There are people that wipe the bloods and clean everything up, that get it ready for the surgeons, for the doctors, for the nurses, for the midwives. The job creations are absolutely fascinating. I'm sat in my house here, I'm making a live video, I'm talking to you people. God forbid, if I collapse here and ambulance was called on 999, paramedics will show up. That's a job. There are people who, what did I just say? You ring 999 on your phone. There are people scattered across the nation that pick emergency calls for ambulance, for fire emergencies, for police emergencies. They route your call based on your locality. If I'm calling in London, there is a system in place that will automatically let them know that the call is coming from so part of London. If I'm here in Leeds, there is a system that knows that I'm calling from Leeds. The paramedics will come, they have the tools. This is what I'm saying. There are people that die every day in Nigeria that should still be alive. It's unbelievable. If they take me to the hospital now, I don't have to pay for shit. If there's an emergency, I'm struggling to breathe, I've suffered a stroke, I will get, from the moment the paramedic attend my property, they check you, they usually even have emergency blood supply in the ambulances. All of this is to try to make sure you stay alive and you live a good life. We have nothing like this in Africa. It's crazy. No, 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 no. People die when they have to die. It's spiritual. Who is this person, man? What do you mean people die when they have to die? What does that even mean? People die when they have to die. Imagine if somebody collapses, right? And there's a professional on the spot that can help you and treat you and help you stay alive. If you need a quick blood supply, if you need a quick injection, you need to put you in the car, take you to the hospital, you get quickly seen. What are you talking about, man? This person is talking nonsense, man. What do you mean it's spiritual? This is what I'm saying. You see that ugly mentality, man? How can you say, oh my God, that's a typical Nigerian, right? It's spiritual to just die. I'll tell you something quickly. I had a friend's mom. You even CCTV cameras are in places everywhere just in case of committed crimes, and it helps apprehend offenders and many more. Thank you, Maria. You see, sometimes when you look at Nigeria, right, as big as imagine all the states in Nigeria, just imagine the millions of jobs, millions. Many of us wouldn't even bother traveling out. Travel out to do what? You can travel out maybe on holiday, on vacation, and come back. You'd realize that a small percentage of us would live abroad. The potential, the possibilities to create jobs, to better ourselves. Believe me, man. People talk about spiritual nonsense. This is I'm still going to have a separate video, a separate session. We talk about the effects of religion, how it's sabotaging us every day. Thank you, solutions. People, thank you. It's funny. If you leave, this is what I'm saying. Over here, see, if I want to go jump down my street here, down the road here, if I get up here, I don't feel like driving, I want to go jump on the bus, I can just sit here, look at the bus times. Oh, a bus is coming in 10 minutes. I can just walk down the road, get to the main road, get to the bus stop. The bus will show up. Even if it's running late, it shows you. Why is it impossible for us? It's because of the corrupt officials. It's unbelievable. There is no respect, regard for data protection. Passport office in Nigeria, Nigerian passport office, where we get our international passport. Everything is paperwork. Somebody said to me the other day that Nigerian passports are printed in Ghana. I said, what? It's crazy. Thank you, Ife. First of all, we need electricity to attract investors. You see, the constant supply of electricity, right? They know that we need it. You see, all of those bastards that are running that nation, they all have homes, families, their children live abroad. They know. They have $1 billion industry. Do you know the generator industry in Nigeria is worth multi-billions? Multi-billions. They know. They know we need constant electricity. They will prevent it from happening. They know. They are the ones sabotaging us. People spend Nigeria. I laugh when I go to Nigeria and you see people. Oh, my generator is 2.5 million. Should we be boasting about who has the biggest gen? Who has oh, I bought this for 1.8 million. Oh, this gen is this and this and this. And one of the things that kills me, you can't even sleep in some people's homes. I went to a friend's house. I stayed overnight. I mean, he treated me nicely. He's a very good friend. So I was in the guest room. In the guest room, you know, like the window. The window right next is the neighbor's compound. The generator. I couldn't sleep. I stayed there for 2 nights. Man, exactly. Franklin, exactly. They know what to do, but they refuse to do so. Of course, Owen, thank you for joining. Thank you. Generators as well. Thank you. Thank you, Solutions. They pollute the air. The constant everyday pollution. We don't care about health. We care about nothing. Look, let me say it this way. As bad as Nigeria is, there are fantastic brains in Nigeria. There are people that live in Nigeria that want, a lot of people that want progress for that nation. Same as a lot of we that diasporans that live abroad. But the system is so corrupt, so cracked that you, the good guys, you are outnumbered by the bad guys. Before you even talk about the leaders, your average Nigerian, you can't have a honest transaction. Hey, man, I want this phone. I want to sell it to you for 100,000 naira, maybe. Okay, put 100,000 in my account. The guy might look for how to steal the phone, not even give you a penny. Frauds at every level. Your family members build me a house. They take money. They won't build shit. Help me buy a piece of land. They take money. They wouldn't buy shit. The corruption just goes. Rah! There's a woman who lives in the state in Texas. I heard this story. They somebody stole 10 acre of land, right? So she took the matter to court. She flew to Nigeria. Before the woman realized that she was basically in a network of fraud, it took a long time. She spent thousands of dollars. The lawyer was involved. The court just kept adjourning the case, adjourning the case, adjourning the case, adjourning the case. She's been going to court for good 5 years, no remedy. So she gave up. Let me look at the comments here, man. You should have run to the living room to... Owen, you're talking about when the generator was noisy. I should have run to the living room to sleep. I didn't even think of going to sleep in the living room. Then also, the issue of there are some people who have like solar panels. Even good solar panels are very expensive. Look at it. This is why I get frustrated. When you live abroad, all you have to do monthly, I pay my gas, my electric, I just have to switch on my light. As long as you pay your bills, the electric is there. Your heating, my heater is on because we're in the middle of winter. You pay for your gas, you pay for water. I've heard of a case, somebody in Nigeria. He wasn't at home for 2 months because he traveled to another part of Nigeria, and they sent him a bill that he has used electricity worth 30,000 naira in the first and second month, total of 60,000, when he was actually away for 2 months. Nobody was in the property. How does that even work? Without power, Nigeria will never transform itself. To talk of becoming industrialized, of developing a service sector, it all boils down to infrastructure. OC, OCJ, OC, OCJ, OC. Yeah, I agree with you, bro. I absolutely agree. How do we attract investors? And some of the investors, we have a few investors in Nigeria. They come to take advantage. Nigeria has a lot of potential. Don't get me wrong. There is a lot of potential for success. But the everyday challenges, the problems are severe. There was a time when I was in Nigeria, an extended family of a friend had a baby. So we went for what you call naming ceremony. So we were saying hello to the woman that had a baby, and I realized the baby's skin had a lot of rashes, heat rash. And I said to the mother, what's wrong with the baby? She said, it's because there's been no light, there's been no electricity, so the baby has been having heat rash. My heart just sank. A baby that's less than 2 weeks old is already suffering. And the woman, basically, they are very average people. They don't have mega money to sustain generator. So somebody there actually volunteered to buy them generator and bought them generator and said he was going to give them like petrol supply for like 6 months or whatnot. They were so happy, they were so delighted. That's poverty. That's deprivation of basic amenities. Imagine you living in the UK and US. I have a generator in my back garden. My neighbor has a generator. The guy across the road. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. The challenges keep increasing. You paid what you pay what you use abroad. How many hours of light do you get, bro? Yeah. There are, and this is why I get angry. When you look at places like Amen Estate in Lagos, I think it's in Lagos, right? I get angry because it's seen like an area like Amen Estate. I have nothing against it. It's got beautiful property and stuff like that. It's made to look like a form of major achievement. They took basic amenities that the government isn't providing for the nation. They privatized it. They get people to pay mega millions. Oh, come to Amen Estate. We have 24 hours electricity. Really? I don't live in no goddamn Amen Estate. Well, I live in a very good part of Leeds, but it's called basic amenities. There is electricity. You don't have to be posh to have electricity 24 hours. You don't have to be posh to have constant water supply. You don't need to be posh. You don't need to be rich to have gas and electric. I've been out. There are all of these estates. People, Nigeria is the richest country in the world. Yeah, but Ife, Nigeria is the richest country, but where is the wealth? The citizens of the nation are not experiencing that wealth. People are broke. People are suffering. Where is the wealth? Where is it? The wealth is not being distributed. Like I said earlier, do you know the number of jobs? Oh my God. So just imagine our graduates, a lot of youth, they have no vision. Go and talk to the average youth in Nigeria. Bad spoken English, bad writing skills. Everything is, if you look at, I'm sorry, I don't mean no disrespect. I love my people, but how can you call yourself a graduate? You're 21-year-old, you're 22, you cannot even articulate yourself. Terrible education. You can't ask most graduates to pick up a letter and construct a well-written letter. We're not talking about big usage of grammatical terms. No, we're talking about using the right tenses and being able to articulate yourself, being able to stand up confidently. Bad education. They can't even talk about what somebody said to me, he studied mechanical engineering. So I said, oh, fantastic. I was trying to engage him about, the guy said to me, he graduated with a first class. I was inspired, like, oh, great. So I was trying to talk to him about mechanical engineering. My guy was just like, as in, what? Look, there are no jobs. We make jokes about everything. You look on Instagram, it's like it's a normal thing. Everybody wants to be a slay queen. Everybody, the employment is rushing to Big Brother Nigeria and hoping that you blow. You're inspired by Toby. You're inspired by CC. You're a graduate. You studied medicine. I watched a video on YouTube. This guy studied medicine. He graduated. He's actually a medical doctor. He's qualified now. He's licensed as a medical doctor, but he is jobless. He was on the queue at Big Brother Nigeria. So the guy asked him, shouldn't you be working in the hospital? He goes, well, if you find me a job, I'll go and treat people. There is no job. So imagine all the years in medical school. The dude is reduced to wanting to blow on Big Brother Nigeria, hoping to win 45 million naira and becoming the next Instagram celebrity. That's what the nation has turned into. So we talk about Yahoo, people being turned into fraud. That's why we're talking about one jipata, They're stealing people's pants. It's crazy. I was looking at some comments on YouTube where some people are saying, wait, what? Who's what? How? Who is somebody? So I saw a comment on a video. Oh, is a white guy. The guy was saying, wait, what? How does pant translate to money? So the other guy who is Nigerian was trying to explain to him that they use it for diabolical means. The guy was like, Jesus Christ, is there no civilization in Nigeria? I was so disappointed. You can't. Somebody said something to me today, and I nearly died laughing. Now in Nigeria, when Muslims go to the mosque to pray, they leave their slippers, their shoes outside before they go into the mosque. Somebody actually said in Nigeria, people actually take like when people go to the mosque, they take their slippers and they take their shoes and they put their shoes in under the oh man. Yeah. I mean, it's terrible. I could not believe this. People go to the mosque to pray. They are taking their slippers and hiding their slippers. You're taking your shoes and hiding your shoe. I'm laughing, but it's heartbreaking. You're taking somebody, you see, again, I mean, jokes aside, it just shows the desperation that you can look at a fellow human being and you just think to kill for money. Somebody comes from abroad. You just think this guy is the answer to your problem. You point the guy to kidnappers, you kidnap, you kill. Meanwhile, the guy that came from abroad is probably a cleaner with 3 jobs. He's probably working a day job and a night shift job and to survive. And everyone is just desperate. You know why? The system is crippled. I don't think I've laughed so much because it was actually my grandmother that was telling me this today over the phone, that in Nigeria now, like people are like, if women go to hairdressers to do their hair, like when you go do your hair and they remove like your old weave, you have to literally get a nylon bag and pack your hair and put it in a bag so that they don't take it and go do money ritual. What? Parents are going to schools and telling them that they don't want their little girls to get involved in PE. They don't want cleaners to help them in the toilet. Don't let some. Imagine you telling a 5-year-old child, "Hey, don't let somebody steal your pants." Ha! How do you explain that to a child? The child just be looking at you as, "What, mommy, daddy? What do you mean, my pant?" Don't let you go barb your hair. I go to the barber shop all the time. Imagine you go take your pata and slippers. Oh my God. Imagine you go to the barber shop. I go for a haircut and I'm sat in the chair and I'm actually saying to the barber, "Hey, I beg, make I pack my, please, let me pack my hair. Please give me back." Really? When I go to the barber shop here, you get your haircut, you pay for the haircut, you give a tip to the barber, and you say, "See you later," you bounce. Why should I worry about somebody stealing my hair? Imagine going to the barber shop and telling the barber, "Please, can you put my hair inside the nylon? I want to." Here, the barber will probably think I'm crazy. It's mad. Yeah, I know, I'm laughing, but it's crazy. No. What I'm saying, praline, chocolates. What I'm saying is, imagine you going I'm talking about me, I live in the West here. Imagine me going to the barber shop, my barber shop, My barber is a Jamaican guy, very good barber. And I get a haircut and I say, please put my hair in a nylon. I need to go and dispose of it myself. He will probably ask me and say, we have a dustbin here. Why do you want to pack your hair? You will look crazy. But in Nigeria, this is what's happening. This is why I'm tying, the reason I'm saying all this is poverty. Poverty is crazy. This is a major problem that's killing the nation. Poverty. People are ready to do anything. Check this. I had the story of a member of somebody's family who's lived in America for 14 years. So the dude had married in the States. He lived in Texas. So he had married an African-American woman, right? The guy is actually, he's a Yoruba guy. He's been in America for years, about 14 years. And then he had 2 kids. So anyway, you know the drill. He got his papers after 14 years, I think a green card or something. And then he jumped on the plane. He had built a bungalow or something in Nigeria. So he decided to take the wife and kids during Christmas. He went home. So on Sunday, you know, as you do, religious people, his family, his mom said, let's go do Thanksgiving in church, blah, 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 blah. So as I heard, they were opening the gate of the property. Wife and kids were in the car. He opened the gate. Some dudes pulled up in a car. They jumped into the compound. They shot this guy dead, broad daylight. They didn't go into the property to ask for money or steal anything or kill anybody else. They pointed the gun at him. They shot him dead, jumped back in the car, and they drove off. Then I think they came back. A couple of minutes later, they ran into the property. They held everybody ransom. They looked around. They said they stole 2 laptops, 2 wristwatches, earrings, and then they drove off again. You see that? There is somebody within that family circuit that knows someone that set that guy up. Why? The guy has come from abroad. He has built a house. He has shed loads of money. So kill him in exchange for what? This happens every day. It happens every day. Thank you. It's inside job. People are vicious. In fact, let me tell you this. When I go home sometimes, when I go around people, you know, like you see somebody that's struggling. I'm not a rich guy. I'm a regular guy. But I think, okay, hey, bro, here's my little 20,000. Here's my little 50K. Somebody actually told me, dude, you got to be careful because you see, Nigerians are twisted. You are just trying to help someone. They take that money and they will form an impression like you got it like that. So they're going to look at you and think, oh boy, this guy that gave me 50K. Oh boy, this guy get money. They can point you out and say, oh, dude, he's staying at that hotel. He's come from the UK. Dude, he's got money. Da, 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 da. They show up with guns and knives and they finish you off. It's poverty mentality, man. People are wild. Because we can't, what I want to say is, we can't keep living like this. We can't carry on. And don't get me wrong. Let me just say this. I always like to balance my arguments. There is crime abroad. Don't get me wrong. People get killed in America, in the UK, in Canada. For example, in Chicago, people, you can get shot. You can get robbed for your wristwatch. So I'm not saying there isn't any crime abroad, but if you look at it on a bigger picture, on a bigger scale, you have a very high chance of living a very good life without being killed, enjoying basic amenities, going to work, earning your money, paying your bills, not looking over your shoulder. Of course, there are issues of rape. There are criminals overseas. So I'm not trying to give an impression as if overseas is heaven. But what I'm saying is, in most instances, with technology, with the facilities at the police and stuff, criminals get caught. Criminals get banged up in prison. They get jailed. You will get justice. If women get raped through DNA, through prosecutions, you get, at least you get justice. They make sure that guy that raped someone else, that woman doesn't rape other people. You know, they constantly do things to make the system work. This is why we live in these countries. And the truth is, these countries are not designed with black people in mind. This is another conversation for another day. That's why we experience racism. That's why we experience discrimination. That's why Nigerians are some of the best doctors across the world. If you go to the US, Nigerians are some of the best nurses, best lawyers, best engineers, best realtors, property developers, name it. We have businesses and stuff. But yet, when it comes to the important things, when push comes to shove, they still let you know that your ass is black. That's why sometimes when you experience racism, when you experience discrimination, when people treat you differently because of your color, not because of what's in your head, not because of your education, not because, oh, this guy's a nice guy. No, 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 no. As soon as you walk through the door, I'm sure a lot of you will agree with me. There are places where you go to abroad. They might be talking to you. Hey, hi, Franklin. Nice to meet you. How you doing, man? Hey, what's going on, bro? Hey, what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm this and this and that. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Oh, da, 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 da. The conversation is going well. Oh, where are you from? Oh, I'm Nigerian. Sorry, you. Oh, not. Nice to meet you. And Oyibo sabi pretend. As soon as you drop the bomb, I'm Nigerian. There's already a stereotypically generated perception of you. There are preconceived notions. They just instantly think criminal. It doesn't mean the white man is not a criminal, but we constantly sabotage our own image. Well, I don't care though. I don't care. I don't care. I fear no man. I don't give a shit what they think. Somebody asked me, where you from? I say Nigerian. Yeah, now you know. That's, I don't care. But what I'm telling you the truth, I'm telling you the reality, what affects us all the time. That's why some of these people, they think they're better than us. Do you know how many pedophiles? How many white pedophiles? How many white rapists, white criminals, murderers, right? But they catch one Nigerian, they catch two Nigerians. Boom! Nigerian fraudsters just studio alone. But we talk about racism, we talk about discrimination, but we're not helping ourselves. We're not. There are genuine abroad. It's the same in the UK, in Denmark, in Amsterdam, in the US. There are hardworking, legitimate Nigerians. They graft, they work hard, they earn every pound, every euro, every dollar. They build businesses. They are legitimate. They are proud people, right? You cannot push them behind the queue. Then you have the Olori Buruku ones, the waste men, them. Believe me. I'm also ashamed that I'm from Nigeria. Don't be ashamed, bro. Let's be ashamed. Don't be ashamed from being in Nigeria. Don't be ashamed of being a Nigerian, sorry. Let's be ashamed of the actions of some Nigerians. Be proud, man. Be proud. Be proud. Let's be proud, man. Let's be proud. Yeah. That's me, man. The problem with Nigeria, it's a wrap for me on this one. It's Brother Franklin, thanks again for feeding this truth. Many people in Nigeria will still not believe the experiences of Nigerians. Trust me, this is why I started that segment on my channel called Say It Like It Is. Thank you. Thank you, Tochukwu. Thank you. Listen, my people, feel free to, if you want to support the channel, there's a button there. Feel free to support. I'm actually going to set up a Patreon page because I'm working on bringing more and more content, and I'll be uploading a lot more in the week. YouTube is a lot of hard work, man. If you feel like supporting, you owe me nothing, actually. You owe me nothing. In fact, what you really owe me is share my content. If you have time to watch my content, show your love, support your brother. But if you're willing to support the channel, please do. I'm going to create a Patreon link. I'll let you guys know later on. And yeah, my email address, foodchannel1960@gmail.com. If anyone's got, some people have already sent me a couple of emails about topics you want me to talk about and discuss and stuff. Please share with me. Let me know topics you want me to talk about. I'm planning to actually rename the channel. I'm not going to tell you what name. I want to rebrand it. So because I'm going in line of creating more and more content, doing more live contents like this, and yeah. But because food, making food, I've got more than 100 food recipes on my channel. Food recipes and stuff is my first love, and I still love. I'm going to carry on showcasing them. Nigerian food recipe. I believe Nigerian food should be on the world map. It's part of my love for my country. Okay, so I don't care what anyone says. I'm sure my people would agree with me. So I want to imbibe food recipes as well as doing majorly this type of contents and stuff, and making it a platform where we can all learn and improve ourselves. Yeah, praline. Is it praline chocolates? Awesome. I'm new here. Thank you for joining and stuff. So I'm going to be doing live videos for now on Sundays, and I'll try to see what weekly recaps we can talk about. But from this week going forward, I'm going to be uploading on Mondays, Fridays, and Wednesdays, okay, at 3 o'clock UK time. So, yeah, thank you for your support. Thank you for what we are so concentrated in correcting grown-ups. But imagine we directed a lot of this concern to the growing up, it would make a difference. Let me address that quickly. Yeah, Kazim, I want to design. I was going to advertise my merchandise, but I want to create, a couple of new designs that people would like be able to wear. I'll let you guys know. Support the channel in whatever way you can. But like I say, feel free to email me foodchannel1960 at gmail.com. Food channel. I'm going to type it here actually. Food channel 1960 at gmail.com. Send me your emails, ideas, and topics. If you've read any articles, I basically just want to use this hub, this wonderful platform, to be able to contribute positively, to the society. It's nice to have a laugh. It's nice. I know. Hopefully in the future, I'll be able to meet some of you wonderful people if the universe permits and stuff. But the idea is to be able to use my platform positively and do wonderful things, and also hopefully learn from you guys. So yeah, that's me done. If you haven't, show your love, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. It's your boy Franklin. Peace and love. Good night.